I'm your host, Star, and this is my first episode, so bear with me. Um, I'm here talking about Saturday Night Main Event as well as the Royal Rumble and recapping both of them as well as part of my Raw prediction for tonight. I promise this is going to be a short episode. So yeah, bear with me. So let's get right into it. Uh, Saturday Main Event, you had the match of Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes. Even though the match didn't really go off um, due to Jacob attacking Cody before the match even began and them fighting outside the ring and whatnot, and then Drew getting involved. Um, I feel like they definitely need to run that back at some point. Um, I feel like with them, they still have more story to tell, and hopefully WWE does the story justice. Um, but overall, yeah, I definitely feel like their story should keep going. Hopefully, they don't fumble the storyline around that. Um, Next, we have the tag team of the women's tag team, far as and Rio, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan. Um, I mean, I get people fatigue when it comes to Rhea Ripley and her always been in the title picture. But I kind of like the team of Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. I feel like they don't get enough credit as a tag team. Um, I definitely do think they're helping the women's division. Um, it doesn't help the fact that they let go half of their tag team rosters when it came from NXT in the main roster. And so you're just throwing, single competitors into a tag team in order to fill that spot, which is crazy. When you have the mid card titles that are still need to be have the attention on. And I feel like having the single competitors to be both in the mid card titles as well as the women's titles, I feel like that's good. They should have kept it like that. But far as is having them as in the tag team, I feel like that they is trying to scramble of how they gonna book it. Um, I don't. At this point, I feel like it's hurting them more than it's helping them. But at this point, I'm willing to give it an opportunity of what they're gonna do with the whole tag division. But yeah, you have Rhea and Io retaining. So yeah, and I feel like they weren't meant to win this anyways. I feel like that uh, there's a storyline between the Judgment Day when it comes to Roxanne, Liv, and Raquel. So having them as a tag team right now will not do. And so yeah, it is what it is. Next match you have the AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I felt like that was a damn good match. And I feel like most IWCs and wrestling fans who tune into these Raw and SmackDown, especially when it came to AJ and Shinsuke Nakamura, didn't give enough credit as the in-ring competitors. I feel like they put on a banger match. And I definitely feel like there should have been more matches between those two instead of that one before AJ left. Um, but yeah, I feel like that was a good match. I would rate that definitely as a 10 out of 10. The Rhea and Io match, I'll give it like a 7, 7.5. Um, Jacob and Cody, yeah, I guess because it was a brawl, I'll give it a 7. Um, and now let's get to the Fatal 4-Way, where you have Trick Williams, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, and Damian Priest. going head to head uh to see who's gonna go face Drew McIntyre for the title at the Rumble. Um, it was a good match, and overall, I feel like a lot of people gravitated towards Trick Williams, and I feel like he's semi getting that J treatment, if that makes sense. Um, when it comes to he has the movement going on. Definitely not hating on that. Just hating on the fact that they trying to mold him into a Booker T 2.0, in which I'm not a fan of. I mean, it's working for him at the moment a little bit, but I definitely feel like he definitely don't need to be in the shadows or of Booker T. I feel like he can be better than Booker T when it comes to as a talent. It's the thought of will WWE book him that way to be taken serious as a main event superstar. Um, there may be a yes, there may be a no. Who knows? Um, but we know WWE has a history of not booking their black talent as well. So again, we will see. I will give it at least until SummerSlam to see how they will either book him or fumble with him, along with a few other people who came up doing the NXT, as far as Javon Evans and Obafemi. And yeah, so it's only time will tell. Um, yeah, and I would rate that match. No, I give about like an 8.5, if I'm being honest. That's just me per se. Um, but yeah, let's move on to the Rumble. The Rumble started off with the Women's Royal Rumble, and I feel like they did a way good job with the Women's Royal Rumble. When it comes to talent, we all know that that country does not favor those who look like us, as far as black people as well. Um, but nevertheless, it was a good match. The MVP of that match, I would definitely give it to Lash Legend as well as Soul Ruka. But yeah, the only thing I did not like, and I feel like was definitely not needed, and they need to retire, is Brie and Nikki Bella. I mean, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I feel like their time has come and left, and we all know the reason why Nikki is there, but I digress. But I feel like it's not needed. Those two slots could have went to somebody else on NXT. Could have did a surprise from TNA for the women's of TNA. You know what I mean? It definitely could have been a lot more booked a lot better when it comes to women's talent. Of what I mean? I mean, no shades to the Bella, but it is what it is. That could have definitely went into two more spots for those who went in. You know what I mean? The winner of the Royal Rumble, Women's Royal Rumble, was Liv Morgan. Um, I'm not upset with that. Um, would I like to Lash Legends to win it? Of course. I know a lot of IWC people wanted Bianca to pop up. Honestly, I didn't think she was going to pop up due to injury, and so we don't know how um far along she is in her recovery when it comes to the finger injury, because it's not a dislocated finger. It's definitely a broken finger. She broke her knuckle in two places. So yeah, that's going to take a little time. If she does come back, I definitely can see it at the build up to Rumble. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can definitely see her around that. Um, but yeah, congratulations to Liv Morgan on her win. I know that they built on a storyline about with that because she eliminated Raquel Rodriguez, and so we know that that's going to be a storyline in itself. Now that you have Raquel facing Stephanie Valkyrie in a match today in Raw, So I think it's kind of cool. They're definitely gonna have a live and Raquel feud. That's for sure. So time will only tell of how they book it to the point where we can say that was a good ass feud or good ass match. Yeah, sorry about my voice, but yeah. Next match would definitely be the AJ versus Gunther. I At this point, Triple H, the way he's booking Gunther as the quote unquote career killer, I'm definitely not feeling that. I mean, not to shade Gunther, he's a good in ring competitor. I feel like AJ should have had a better um, storyline, a better run for his last run as a WWE competitor before retiring. And I feel like they made his way shorter than they made John Cena. They fucked over John Cena's real career ending run. And I feel like they should have definitely gave AJ more time. At least could have gave him to SummerSlam or Survivor Series and then have him bow out gracefully. So that way if he wanted to continue to wrestle in other promotion, he could do that. But he could have ended his career in WWE the way he wanted to. Whether it was a feud between him and Finn Balor or whoever else. Um, I definitely feel like WWE missed opportunities of AJ retiring the way he wanted to. Because if he could put on a banger ass match between Shinsuke Nakamura and Gunther and CM Punk, you know what I mean? What other match he could have easily put on? Yeah, but you've seen the teaser between him and Jalon. And I feel like, you have people like Over Femi who coming up and other Royce Keys and whoever else. And it's kind of like you could have so many stories when it came to that and then capitalize off of it. And so I feel like, yeah, it is what it is. I'm sad to see AJ gone. Um, I would definitely miss hearing his theme song. But other than that, I hope that, he wrestles in either TNA or in AEW and put on good matches with those superstars over there. You know what I mean? And end the career that he wants by facing the people he wants. You know what I mean? So yeah, it is what it is. And I wouldn't expect WWE to do anything less than what they already doing when it comes to people who are retiring by having Gunther or somebody else like a Brock Lesnar or somebody to end their winning streak or to end their careers in a way that is distasteful. And so, what I mean? At this point, I feel like Triple H is on a raw path when it comes to not giving a fuck how wrestlers go out. Because I feel like he had his last match against Dave Bautista and won that one. And him and Batista both had a good career ending match. And I feel like he's trying to relive his glory days through the superstars, knowing that he cannot wrestle because of his heart condition. But I feel like he's sinking his own talent as well as the company on some self-preservation type of um trying to relive my glory days vibe. And I feel like that's wrong, in my opinion. Moving on. But anyways, I will give that Gunther and AJ match a definitely 9. Um I feel like it was a good ass match despite, he passing out and lost against Gunther. The women's Royal Rumble, I'll give that by like a 8.5, maybe 9. But yeah. Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn, which is the third match of the night. I think it was a good match. There was definitely moments where we thought Sami was gonna win, but I feel like deep in my heart I knew that Sami was gonna win because Drew just won that title. And so to take it off Drew that quick when he just had it, he's just gotten it, will be a slap in the face to Drew. Um, However, I do believe it's either before or after um the Rumble, not Rumble, but WrestleMania, maybe even during WrestleMania, that they're gonna take the title off him. Um, Either way, I just hope they give him a good run to make up for the ways they be treating him. So yeah, but I would definitely give that match about like a 8. Yeah, I just hope that they give him a good run and a good storyline when it comes to Drew McIntyre. Um, let's see what else. Drew as a heel is definitely is doing well. He's still a crybaby to me, so it is what it is. True Mackie crier. But yeah, men's Royal Rumble, I would definitely rate that as a 6.5, 7. I feel like it was rushed in ways. I feel like you got most of the in-ring competitor was beefy, strong men, and I feel like you try to they use that as a power grab in certain ways of showcasing the muscles. I don't understand the two guys from AAA being enough when you literally don't have enough room for Finn Balor, which is a slap in the face because that was my pick. I definitely wanted Finn Balor to be in it and to win it so he can have his redemption story of having to relinquish the title due to injury and not them not following up by booking him as one of the top guys to fight for that belt. It's a slap in the face to Finn Balor as a person as well as an in-ring competitor, which they need feel like I feel like they need to do better by him. But yeah, um, the winner of the Royal Rumble is Roman Reigns. Am I surprised? Not really. He was like my fourth or fifth person to win it. Um, which I wasn't mad because he threw Gunther and Logan Paul out the ring. And if you know me, especially if you follow me on TikTok, you know how much I despise and not like Logan Paul. And so I don't know how they keep getting him down to be the bottom two, the bottom three, the top five. But either way, I was hoping somebody throw him over the ring as quick as possible. And luckily, it was a Roman who did both Gunther and Logan Paul, which made me like Roman even more. Um, I don't get me wrong, I love Jay, but Jay, if you ever listen to this, please stop running it back in the middle of a match. I mean, you already did that at the Survivor Series, and it's kind of like you're doing it in a match. And at some point, when you ran it back, I was hoping somebody come behind you and threw your ass over the top rope as a way of stopping that. So yeah, I definitely need you to stop eating in the middle of the match. Um, Now I can understand if you want it, then eat your ass off. You know what I mean? I have no problem you eating, but running it back during the middle of a Royal Rumble where you know you're gonna get on top of an apron and do that is asking to get pushed over the ramp or over the rope, and I wouldn't be mad at it. It was hilarious to find Roman Reigns to pop you as he's trying to convince you to run it back and you was willing to do it. That was hilarious. But yeah. Um Besides feeling rushed as far as the Royal Rumble, dance Royal Rumble, I feel like I don't know how Roman's gonna do it. Is he gonna show up more now that he wanted? Or we're gonna continue seeing less of him? And it's kinda like if so, it's sad. But I also saw the interview where he said, you know, he stepped away for 2 years to give the young talent the chance to show that they can do it and put on a good show. And the fact that you couldn't proves that you need him even more. I mean, which I can understand because 2025 was a shitty year for WWE. I'm gonna be honest with you. 2024 was as well, but it's not as bad as it was 2025. That was a shit show. AEW have way better, matches and shit in 2020 5 than WWE did. So yeah. But with the men's Royal Rumble, I definitely say a 6 or 7.5. Let's talk about tonight Raw's prediction or whatever. We all know that Liv is going to come out and do her celebration of outbeating 29 other women in the Royal Rumble. And her and Raquel at some point is going to have a face off or a moment of Raquel feeling some type of way of Liv throwing her over the rope to win. Um, Also, I can also see Roman popping up, whether it's towards the end of the match or end of the Raw, and talk about who he may or may not face, at WrestleMania for that title. It's between CM Punk. It could be Drew McIntyre. Um, he has history both of them. With CM Punk, there is the story between uh that took place over 10 years ago with the Shield, and so that's a good long story coming along with that, as well as with Drew, when the bloodline literally made Drew life a living hell. And so I feel like he can go either way. I wouldn't be mad at either one. Me as a heel, I definitely would probably went after Drew just to guess put him in his place or to make fun of him. And it's kind of like I'm gonna take that title as well. Um, it'd be crazy if they did a triple threat match for either one, but that's you know crazy idea. But either ways, I'm here for it. Um, I feel like him and CM Punk will be a good match. Um, do I really care for it? Not really. I feel like it would have been different if Seth still held that title, and because that way, that Seth he could have finally beat Seth for once and for the title, and to prove that I don't need you, that you're not better than me, and that this is forever turning on your brothers when it comes to him and Moxley. And I feel like he needs this because this is semi closure for him. And so, yeah, I hope that he gets that point. I don't see him ever teaming with Seth when it comes to division, unless there's a come and go or a reason. But we know that Roman is never going to trust Seth, whether it's a temporary alliance or not. He's not going to trust him. So, yeah. But other than that, you have the Stephanie versus Raquel in a street fight. As much as I love Stephanie Barker, I feel like they might give it to Raquel. They may not. They might just have Liv interfere and cost Raquel the title. Eventually making it a triple threat match for the Women's World Champion at either WrestleMania or the next pay-per-view, which I believe is at Elimination Chamber. Could be wrong, but yeah. And so we'll see who will win that. But anyways, thank you guys for listening. Please put in your opinion about both not SmackDown, both Saturday Night Main Event as well as the Rumble. And what do you think about Raw tonight? Favorite second episode of Raw, and how would you rate it? Also, yeah, like, subscribe, and follow me for more episodes. Will I do this on a daily basis? I'm not sure. It depends on how well this video does. But until then, thank you guys for listening. You know what I mean? It's like, thank you for allowing me to do this for the first time. Hopefully you guys like it and want more.